Hi, I'm Patrick Prince with the Tulsa World, joined by our high school sports guru, Barry Lewis, here to talk a little all-world basketball. Barry, always an exciting time to honor high school kids in the area. Why don't you start and tell us about our three boys basketball finalists for All-World Player of the Year?
All right, going in alphabetical order. Owasso's Kyler Mann helped the Rams get to their first state tournament since 2015. Just seemed that he was a big-time player in the biggest moments for Owasso. He was very consistent all year long, but just very big in the biggest moments. He was an MVP in 2 different tournaments, and he was consistent double-double guy, averaged 15 points and about 11 rebounds a game. Just very solid, very consistent, big-time player. Webster's Anthony Pritchard, a University of Tulsa signee, led Webster to its second state semifinal appearance in 4 years in 4A and third state tournament appearance in 4 years. So what a career he had. Over 2,000 career points, one of Tulsa Public Schools' all-time leading scorers. Averaged about 23 points a game, just did it all for Webster. And this is his second time as an all-world finalist. And then you have Jackson Skipper of Sapulpa, who helped lead Sapulpa to the state semifinals for the first time since 1999, averaged 20 points a game. Another very consistent player. And Sapulpa was actually the second team he helped lead to a state tournament because he helped Central get to the state tournament back in 2019. So Kyler Mann, Anthony Pritchard, and Jackson Skipper are the all-world boys basketball finalists for Player of the Year.
Now, I know you're a fan of Bixby's Xavier Glenn, but he is not a finalist. Why not?
Yes, it was very tough leaving him out or leaving him off the finalist list because I was really impressed by him. But as I will write about in Sunday's All-State column, that postseason success is a really big part of the equation when I'm determining honors. And Bixby lost its last 5 games. So it was, while the 3 finalists that were chosen all made the state tournament, when things are just really very even, it was a very tough decision to leave Glenn off as a finalist, but when it came down to it, that's why he is not one of the 3 finalists. I mean, his performance I will say, to give him all credit, because I think he's a tremendous player, he had one of the top postseason performances I saw in Bixby's first round loss to Muskogee. I mean, he was incredible that night, 40 points, 14 rebounds. But it's just, I have never named as a finalist a player from a team that's lost in the first round of the playoffs. And that was, when it came down to it, a deciding factor. I mean, he is a first team selection. He's going to be on the all-state team. And that also was a reason why Parker Frederickson, his Bixby teammate, was a second team selection all world. It's just tough, when you lose your last 5 games of the year like that. That was the deciding factor.
And Parker Frederickson, isn't he the only sophomore on the team? Is that right?
Either among the top 15 players, all world players. Yes. Yeah. I mean, he's a great talent. He's getting all types of offers, and I expect he's going to have an outstanding junior and senior season. Well, his sophomore season was really good when he averaged 25 points a game. He's an outstanding talent. So look for big things from Parker Frederickson.
The last of the first team members, Ty Fryerson of Memorial, talk about his game a little bit.
He had a breakout year for Memorial. It was a different type of year for Memorial because they didn't, for the first time, here's a program that goes to the state tournament, seems like every year. They've been 9 years in a row. This was a year where they might have been vulnerable to not having a really great year because he didn't have a senior starter. But Ty Fryerson just had a breakout year as a leader for the Memorial team, and he was just so consistent every game. And so he gets a slot on the first team.
Now, you and I were talking off camera before we started this a little bit about Sand Springs' Marlo Fox. Why don't you share a little bit about him?
Marlo Fox, who he had outstanding last 2 years for Sand Springs. He's just, again, another very consistent player, averages 17, 18 points a game over the last 2 years. And we'll go ahead and give it away. He's going to get a spot on our All-State team that's announced Sunday. So he got the last spot on the All-State first, Tulsa World's All-State first team. So just a very consistent, high-level player. And I think he's going to go to Seward Community College. He signed there, but I think he can play at the major college level.
Barry, I think I asked you the same thing when we did this video a few months ago for football, but given the pandemic, things went pretty well from a sports perspective, given how they could have gone. We were pretty lucky in Oklahoma. We had a pretty good year, from football to now. Was that fair?
Yes, I would say if it was everything considered very successful. There were a lot of COVID-related cancellations. I shouldn't say a lot, but there were numerous COVID-related cancellations during the regular season in football and basketball, but there weren't many at all in the postseason, which is pretty incredible. So I think all in all, and hopefully that will continue through the spring sports. I mean, everything with the spring sports seemed to be going remarkably well so far, and hopefully that will continue. So when you look at where we were last summer and you see where we are now, I think there's a lot to be thankful for.
Yeah, totally agree. So this week we've been honoring winter sports. We're filming this on Friday afternoon. In tomorrow's paper, we'll honor girls basketball. Mike Brown will have that. The previously mentioned All-State basketball, boys and girls, will be in the Sunday paper. Boys basketball is all-world basketball is in today's paper. Do I have all that right so far, Barry?
That's right. Yes.
And then earlier in the week, we've honored the top wrestlers in the area and boys and girls swimmers in the area. And all of the finalists are invited to our all-world event, our 5th annual all-world event. We're very excited that we're going to actually have one. It will be an in-person event, more details to come, but it'll be June 29th, where we will announce the winners in all the sports, going back to the fall with football and cross country, all the sports, and leading up through the spring sports, which we have to look forward to. So I know it's a ton of work, Barry. Thanks for all that you've done, and Mike Brown, and as well as our correspondents who help us out. This is my favorite thing we do, honoring high school athletes. So thanks for all that you guys do.
Yes, I want to give a shout out to John Tranchina.
Yes,
who did this swimming all world. So, and he's a big part of our coverage.
Absolutely. Yeah, John does a great job of swimming. And of course, Mike Brown picked the wrestlers, and we'll turn our focus to the spring sports for a while. So very appreciated as always.
All right. Thanks, Patrick.